So as you guys can tell here, I put the seat pan back on, shifter plate, shifter balls, and I am dealing with something here that I figured I was going to have to deal with, but I wasn't sure how bad it was going to be. And this, in the tractor world, would be what you consider janky wiring, literally. So, start this out. I cut this off of that wire. It's actually, I think you guys can see it now. It's right there. I'm holding it up with the end of the wire. So I cut that off of there. I unwrapped the electrical tape and found this. So right there, that's interesting. There's two different colors of wire there. Alright. It's a small wire going into this big heavy black wire. Up here to, I'm assuming is going to be some kind of junction. And from what I found so far, they're either taped together or they're soldered together. Another story. But basically just went up into here, was wrapped up, had electrical tape around it. And that was it. And it actually switches from, see, it switches from black to this green wire to this yellow wire in here. And then the green wire goes the whole way over here. There's a bad spot in the wire here that was taped over. And then it goes over here to a yellow wire where it looks like it's actually soldered together, which that would be alright. But the best thing you can do if you run across wiring like this is just start over. Done. So what I am going to do, and something I'm thinking they failed at doing, is I am going to, at minimum, I'm going to try and tape this wire up along the bottom of the seat pan here somewhere. And there's actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run it down along this side. There's a hole right here in the seat pan. And that'll hold it here. And then I'm going to run in back right here at the frame and connect to the old wire right here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go dig out my wire and my connectors and see what kind of damage I can do. And I found an 1156 bulb, which actually came out of the old headlight assembly out of this. And we'll see. I'm pretty sure these both worked. But I'll be honest, I've never tried them, and if they didn't work, it could have been because of the wiring. I mean, that is totally possible right now. So, and the other thing is it might be a good idea to add a ground wire to this seat pan somewhere, because these lights obviously need to be grounded, and there is no ground wire to the seat pan. And they're only grounded through the connection down there at the washers and the bolts, which is not a very good ground because obviously this moves around. So, I'm going to handle that. And I'll get back to you guys. A lot of wire stripping, a lot of wire running. And I'm going to the other thing. Thing 3, I want to put a disconnect somewhere, a connection, so you can pull it apart and not cut the wires every time you take the seat pan off. Seems like a good idea, guys. So, let me do some of this, most of this, and I will get back to you guys. The heater's just kicking on. We'll let it fire up. Alright. So as a semi-temporary setup here, I got my red wire out, and I got a wire ran over to here. And these are the shrink style butt connectors. Now I actually have 2 wires going in here, and I know this is a big no-no, but at the moment I do not have anything to deal with that, so this is my best solution at the minute. Going into this light here, and I just ran it down, and I made sure I left enough wire, and I put a bullet style connector on that other wire. So, let's see, can I prop you guys up? So you guys can kind of see this. Mind me coming in front of you. Car. Okay, jump box is on. Key is on. Ow. 1 out of 2. Okay. Now let's go over here and wiggle this bulb a little bit. There we go. So we just got a bad connection down in there. Needs tightened up a little bit, but they will work. So it's alright. I could either put red lens covers on this, or I could put orange or amber on it. I don't know, I don't think they're that bright. Hold on. Put out this light. Got to turn off this one. So I mean, they're definitely brighter without the lens cover on, but it's not really what I'm going for here. And I don't know. You guys tell me. By the time you guys see this video, I'll probably have already come up with something. The other thing is, I know this jump box was about half dead yesterday, so who knows how many volts I'm putting through this. And I just kind of want to check, make sure none of the wires is getting hot. So actually the wire that's loose? Could be the wire loose down on the contact there. See, if you pull down on it, it quits working, but I think what it is, there's probably a tab in the bottom and it needs bent up a little bit. So, without further ado, we'll turn the lights back on here. I'll turn on my daylight light and see what we can do about that. So we go lights off, ignition off, jump box off. So let's look down in here. The other day I literally just stuck this bulb down in here. Make sure it's not hot. It is a little on the warm side. That's the same. Okay. It's the same style as like the 800 connectors. There's supposed to be a spring in underneath of it. And I would bet you money there's no spring in there. That's probably why the lens cover and everything is off of this. I don't think it's broke in there. Well, maybe it is broke. Yeah, I guess it was broke off of there. You can see a chunk of the old lens right there. So, I'll add that to my list of details that need dealt with. I'm going to lay this right here. Remember that, guys. Right there. And, yeah, slowly get this thing put together. Still got to work on I don't even know if I mentioned it in the other video. A clip to hold the choke cable to the bracket. It had this, and this. It had this one around the cable, and then a bolt went through that to the hole in the bracket and held it on there. I mean, that works. A little rinky-dink. I mean, it works, but I'd like to just buy them rig clips. I should get a bag of them clips because, let's face it, about every Kohler power tractor I have, some of the Briggs, some L's, use that style of clamp. So, I'm just going to buy some, maybe like a 6-pack of them or something, and be good with that for a while. So, good for right now. I should tighten the muffler up. We'll see. You can see how this comes up out of here. I'm definitely seeing a distinct lacking in a spring. Connection is all corroded. Ah, okay. Spring is stuck. That is pretty corroded too, but it's working. So come over here. Basically what it needs to do, it needs to hold some tension up on this cardboard here in the middle. Oh, we'll see what that does. My initial thought is probably as soon as it gets pushed down, it'll probably get stuck again, but definitely seems like some more spring to that. So get that bulb. Hopefully everybody remembered where it's at. Right here. There's actually some spring tension on it now. Well, let's give her the old college try. Jump box, key switch, light switch. Negative Ghost Rider. Working now, but you can still wiggle the wire and it'll go out. So yeah, I'll have to get a spring that'll work in that. But once it's on, it seems like it stays working. Let's demonstrate like we're running the tractor. See? So, yeah, have to fix that the right way. But I think, like I said, I think I could steal them out of them, the headlights. So, alright guys, that's, I think, gonna be it for tonight. It's not really that late, but I think I've done enough for one night out here. So, later guys. So, there's the spring I took out of that light on the C-pan. There's what's supposed to be in it. Just a little bit of a difference there, eh? I'm going to put this in here. This is actually out of an 8000 or 800 series headlight assembly, like I said. So, let me stick it back in here, and then we'll see if it works all the time. That is so much better, guys. Did not realize how screwed up that was until I took it apart. Okay. So you guys know the routine. Turn on the jump box. Turn on the key. The lights. Ah, awesome. Higgity. It works. So now I just got to tie the wires up. And I'll put some air in the tire, and then I think this is going to work to get pressure washed tomorrow. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll do it the next day. Be good to pressure wash this thing and just see what it looks like. So let me get the wire tied up here, and then we'll see what happens. Alrighty guys, so for right now, pretty much gonna draw an end to the 430 project. I got the hood is just sitting on here right now. As you can see, years ago I started priming all the rusty spots on it, but as you can see, the paint's definitely peeling and stuff. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to do, I am, for now I'm going to bolt the hood down, even though it still does need a battery. I'll just run it off the jump box for now. I'm going to top the transmission oil off, and I'm going to take it to work one day and pressure wash it someday when I'm over there, and blah 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 blah. Get a tube for the tire for on the 432. Then I can get its tire back. Maybe I'll get two, because this is a decent tire that I have on here. It just goes flat after a couple days. And then more or less, I'm going to run it some this year. I am going to have to get a 400 series shaft, a short one, and put in here to run a deck. Or I'm debating about putting, you know, a 30-inch deck on the front of this, or, you know, I could even rotary plow with it in the spring, or, you know, what have you guys. I want to use the tractor and see if any oil leaks come up, or see if this engine, you know, blows up before I go and paint it. And I mean, because basically if there's any trouble with this engine, the crank is junk. So if I have to pull this engine apart and rebuild it, I am going to have another crank to put in it, or it's just flat out getting another engine put on it, and that's why I did what I did rebuilding it. So that's that. I think I did show the wiring back here and fixing the light. I don't think I edited the video yet for that, but I did fix the light. I don't have a battery hooked up. I'm going to show you guys. I do mostly have the wires run, and I drilled a hole right there and put one of them plastic clamps to hold the wire, and I put 2 zip ties down there for right now, and there's a little bit of extra wire until I finalize everything and figure it out. And I did put a connector in there so I can unplug it instead of having to cut the wire. Yeah, more or less, once I use it a little bit, maybe once it's warm outside, I will scuff the rest of this up, maybe take a few things apart, and more or less I'll probably paint it, because it's a pretty neat tractor. It's kind of it was the second year of the first good riding tractor they made, which you guys know I'm kind of partial to my 400s. I like the 800s, 8000s, and Gs too, but the 400s, in my opinion, were a little bit simpler. With the walk-behind transmission and everything, made them a lot simpler and a lot more, like this. They were producing. Let's see, what came first? The Kohler Power walk-behind came out first in '66. 67 was the first year of the 400s. The '66 C10 was just a touch earlier, but they were working on it. Like I said, this is second production year of this. I don't remember where it falls in the year. I want to say about the middle, if I remember right. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for the 68 430 project. Last 2 nights I've been organizing the tent garage where I pulled this out of in hopes I can put it back in there, but except behind all the decks and stuff, so I can actually get this out if I want to and not move 12 things. So that's what I'm going to be up to today. I'm going to get both these. Well, the 566 can stay in here if it needs to, but I want to get the 430 out of here, and I want to start working on this 40-inch deck so I can get all them parts put back on and get my shelf cleaned off up there. Then I can put a deck on the 812. And then that'll round out projects more or less in the shop, except for putting mower decks on for this year, which you guys have seen in years past. If you guys want to see something, taking the snowblower off, putting something on something, please let me know, and I will add it to my list of videos that people would like to see if I get around to it, and I will try and video it. So, alright guys, thanks for watching the 68 430 project. That's going to be it for reincarnation. We'll call it part 2, because I did have it running and driving like 5 years ago, but it wasn't so good, we'll say. Now it's running and driving really great. Steering is great. Steering is actually pretty tight for a 400. And now since I fixed that, it should be awesome. So, later guys. Here you go guys, the 2 major overhauls for this winter. I swear his motor sounds like it's knocking already, but I don't know. All I can do. Alright guys, well, I'm going to get everything put away here and get the next project pulled in. Later!